Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new action thriller sequel, Muzzle, City of Wolves. And this film is from director John Stolberg Jr. and starring Aaron Eckhart as our protagonist, who is haunted ex-canine officer. Jake's peaceful life is shattered when a gang brutally attacks his family with a new canine partner, Argos. He uncovers a drug ring, confronts corrupt officials, and fights inner demons while pursuing the criminals. And Stolberg takes a very visceral, intense approach to this film. You could definitely tell that this is not made for the biggest budget. There's moments where CGI is used for like bullets and smoke and stuff like that, and it kind of takes you out of the film. But there is a very visceral, raw kind of feel to the film. And I think a lot of that comes through with the cinematography from Peter Vermeer. And this film is one of those types of films that there's just this raw, manic energy about it. When you cut into these action sequences, it's really intense. And there's a lot of like intimate close-ups and blood and brutality. You see these dogs really tearing it into some people, and you know, them getting beat up too, which, trigger warning, dogs get hurt. Dogs die in this movie. This is not an easy watch in that way, and I feel like that's an important kind of thing to bring up, because there is a very tragic moment towards the beginning of this film that really sets the story in motion. And this film does not take long to shatter this tranquility of Eckhart's character Jake's life with his wife Mia, played by Tanya Van Graan. And there's a lot of South African actors in this film, this being largely made by a South African crew. And, you know, they set up this relationship and how, you know, Eckhart's character, Jake's still troubled, and you feel that trauma still looming over him. And at the core of this film, there's that, and his relationship with his dogs. The real standouts of this film are Eckhart, who delivers a gritty, raw, intense performance, and you feel that trauma looming over him, and he's not okay. And then you have Cool Pooches doing some not so great things to some people. I do feel like this film, the biggest drawback is that this film really tries to make you believe a whole bunch of strings of events that nobody will believe Eckhart's character. And you have to suspend your disbelief so hard for this movie to make any sense. And that's a real challenge to put on your audience. It gets so ridiculous how many things happen and how obvious it is that, like, he wasn't really doing these things. And I get, like, there's corruption going on, and there's this character, Beekman, played by Carl Thenning, and it's just really frustrating after a while, and frustrating in a bad way. And I don't think this story really delivers. Like, I get thematically where this story ends, but it really doesn't give a satisfying conclusion to this arc, and it really leans into all of these things, like how nobody will believe Jake throughout this film, and it leads to where he winds up, and it's hard to really buy into that to begin with, and then we get to this point, and it's just like, why did we get here? And you have this film spending a bunch of time trying to make you understand or feel empathy for Beekman. Like, it slows down to the point where it's like him calling his family and being like, I'm not going to make it out of this, and are we supposed to feel things, but he's such a terrible human being, and trying to show that he's just a pawn of this weird, mysterious, enigmatic, and really, like, not tonally in line kind of villain to this story, this, like, gang cartel guy. And this film just has some clunky elements to it, and it has an overall narrative that's a little hard to buy into, but it is visceral. It's like 90 minutes. It is a thrill ride, and Eckhart's great. his dogs are great, and if you can buy in and you at least have that, you'll have enough. But I don't know if this film really comes together in an impactful and satisfying way. But those are my thoughts on Muzzle, City of Wolves. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.